Hey everyone, I'm back to give you another tutorial. This time it's on Spire of the Watcher Flawless. All this video is just how I did things and the builds I use for it. It's a lot easier than you might think it is. Alright, let's get straight into it. So first things first, I'm going to be using this void build on screen right now. I used this build for the first and second encounter, which is ascending the Spire and killing the Harpy boss. I used the submission with Frenzy Overflow. Now I used Collective Obligation because it's the best. I think it's one of the best guns in the game for PvE right now. It's super strong, and I will show you how to use the gun in this video. I also just ended up using Taipan just to occasionally kill things, but honestly, you can freestyle with the heavy. For the subclass mods, you should be using Solo Operative. That is your highest priority. If you can't have extra armor mods on, then slot in Solo Operative and call it. So the exotic armor piece we're using for this build is Controverse Hold. Basically, what it does is it just makes your Void Grenade better, and I use it all the time, it's great. So basically the way this build works is you use your grenade to get Devour, and Collective Obligation is good here because you can leech the buffs you apply to enemies. And with the fragment that gives you volatile rounds, that counts as a void debuff, so Collective Obligation can use it. Basically, use grenade, shoot gun, win. Now, let's get started with the first actual encounter, which is ascending the Spire. Simply, just do what you're supposed to do. Shoot the nodes and don't die. I don't know what else to say. Here's some footage of me ascending the tower right now. Rinse and repeat and you're up the tower. Now, here's where a lot of people ask for help. We're now onto the Harpy boss, and I will explain how to do things. Here's where Collective Obligation plays into the build the most. Leeching and applying debuffs is super important for when you're about to DPS the Harpy boss. Main strategy here is kill one single Minotaur. Make sure you leave the other one alive, so no more adds respawn. Keep that Arctrician buff to run to 3 of the towers, and use the time you have left on the buff to kill all the Harpies and any other adds that are not Minotaurs. After you've either killed all the Harpies or your buff has run out, go and kill one of the Minotaur, and either keep the buff to start the damage phase, or keep killing adds for heavy ammo and super. I'm showing this strategy on the screen right now. So just before you're about to activate the last pillar, there are usually adds that spawn right before you hit the last few nodes, so with Font of Might on, you can go ahead and throw a grenade or whatever you can do to get wells, and proc Font of Might just before DPSing the boss. For shooting the eyes that appear before the boss actually is like damageable, I like to use the weakening, so I tend to use collectives to debuff the boss rather than tractor cannon or anything. You can also just use a normal weakening grenade on the boss, but collective is nice because you can shoot the boss while debuffing it, and collective does more damage with Font of Might. After you shoot all of his eyes, immediately throw your Nova Bomb and hit him with Taipan. You can use an Empowering Rift if you want here, but I've always just gone the safe route and used the Healing Rift. This boss usually takes me about 6 damage phases to kill. Now comes the Wyvern boss, or the fun part. It's not really that fun. Everything I'm using is currently on the screen. If you're about to type an angry comment on why I'm using Trinity Goal, simply put, it's just to kill the stray supplicants that are scary. But you don't have to run it. I just like to run it. Now, the thing here is, this is a dungeon and not a raid. You can take your time here, and that's what I did. So what I did here is I abused the mechanic of where nothing can go into the other side of the door. As soon as the encounter started, I waited next to the door. That almost killed me. Don't do that. Run straight into the room as soon as the door opens, and you can relax in there. Honestly, you can probably take like a 10-minute break and still be fine. No ads like to run into that room. Well, the Minotaurs like to sometimes. So sit in there, recover your super, your heavy, do what you can. That is a break room. Once you have your heavy ammo and you're good to go, kill a Minotaur next to the door, grab the buff, and run out. I use heat rises so I can shoot in the air while shooting the nodes and not worrying about the supplicants under me. After I've opened the door, I check the nodes. I try and do the nodes. If they're on the same side, then sweet. I don't have to do 2 trips. After you've done the nodes to activate the reactor, leave that room and start worrying about the door. If you do not have the Arctrician buff, do everything in your power to get it as soon as you can. Once the nodes are available to shoot them, close the door, drop your well about 5 to 10 seconds after you shoot the nodes, and do all your damage. Since I'm running Starfire Protocol, I would have used Wither Horde here, but I don't have it, so yeah, I just ended up spamming rockets and using my grenade. Whenever I ran out of rockets, I just used my primary to shoot them to get my grenade back. Simply rinse and repeat, except for after each damage phase, you do not have to wait for the doors to open. If you found this guide helpful in any way, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, anything, or don't. I actually literally don't care as long as I helped you. But yeah, anyways, see you guys.